Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. Yesterday, I had a presentation to do, and afterwards, I got one of those compliments that makes you stop and ponder your life and question yourself, and then dig a little deeper and do some research. And even if it's the surface, and then you go down a little bit deeper, and then you're in another rabbit hole. Anyway, the compliment was that I was so easily and beautifully my own self. That I was so easily and beautifully my own self. And I had to stop. You hear a lot of things over the years. People will compliment you. And then you hear something new and you go, wait, what? Same if it's an insult or a correction or if it's you know, um, criticism. If it's completely new, you stop and you analyze it. At least I do. Anyway, so with that analysis that I am so completely and beautifully myself, I thought about it. And I thought about the room, and I thought about the people, and I realized that these people in this room were all professionals. I mean, high level professionals, and they were in the beginning. They were very, stiff and analyzing and watching and looking, and then by the end, everybody was completely and beautifully themselves. And I know that being yourself gives other people permission to be themselves. The other thing that I heard was that, oh my God, I just love your vulnerability. And then someone said, you're just so authentic, completely and beautifully myself. And then I looked up, authentic and vulnerable leadership. And all the research says that vulnerability leads to authenticity. And I was like, who am I to deny the research? I'm Bertice, who is completely and beautifully myself. I think it's knowing yourself and being yourself that enables you to be more vulnerable, whatever that is, because vulnerability doesn't feel like vulnerability to me. It feels like me just being me. I am very good at not crossing cultural boundaries and lines and norms and folkways. I'm very good at that. I was raised Pentecostal. We have some of the strictest boundaries and rules and laws that just became a part of me that I'm not going to cross. But in not crossing those or in knowing where they are with the people that I love closely, I'm allowed to be who I am. I am given permission by those in company with me, but we give each other permission. And I don't think people recognize the social dynamic of this. They think an individual is just being themselves or being authentic or being vulnerable, but it has to happen in community where you are given permission. You are allowed to know yourself and be yourself. And you create that community. So it very much, I hope I'm making sense to you. It is a two-way street. I walked out of there feeling really, really good, knowing someone sent me a note who was on Zoom and they said, look at all the joy you've created. And I wrote back and said, no, this is the joy we created. It happens every day. It happens in moments. Things happen to kind of what we used to say, you can't steal my joy, that feel like they can steal those moments of joy. But the more you work the muscle of joy, the more joy you see, the more you know yourself and give yourself permission to be yourself. And I mean the self that is evolving and growing. I don't mean that self that people just stop at when they say, well, this is just who I am and you got to like it or take it or whatever. No, no, no. We're ever evolving into who we are. The Bertice that I am today is not the Bertice that I was 12 months ago. And in fact, every 11 months, every cell in your body is completely new. The only reason why we look the same and act the same and think the same is because we haven't changed our thoughts and behaviors. I hope I made some sense with this. There is a whole lot to ponder about beautifully being who you are. Take this little quiz for me. Write down 3 things that you are, who you be, but you can't say what you do for a living. You cannot say what you do. You cannot say who you're related to. Not even God. You can't say, I'm a child of God. No relations to, if you're not related to anybody, if I'm not a mother, a sister, I'm not a cousin, I'm a best friend, if I can't say those things, what am I left with? Who am I? I love you, and I know we're going to get there. We get there together, but it starts right here. I love you.